Hey everyone, I'm here with Shane McLean from 432 Yuck, and he is a junk removal operator in Edmonton, Alberta. And today we're going to be talking about a topic that you might be interested in. It's what happens to my junk after it gets picked up and removed from the house. So most people think that junk just disappears the moment that we drive away, but there's a whole process happening behind the scenes that most Edmontonians never see. The truth is, a lot of what we haul away never actually makes it to landfill. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on exactly where your stuff goes, what gets saved, what gets recycled, and yes, what does end up in the ground. I've got a statistic here I'm going to share. In 2022, 27.1% of solid waste generated in Canada was diverted from landfills through recycling, composting, and other diversion methods, up from 21.6 in 2002, and that's from Stats Canada. I got an interesting quote here from Charlie and Sons Hauling. Most junk removal professionals will find the best eco-friendly way to get rid of your waste. They separate recyclables from the rest of your junk and donate or repurpose reusable items. Most do not just dump everything in a landfill. All right, so with that, I'm going to start off with question number one, Shane. Cool. When the truck pulls away from someone's house, what actually happens next? Where does the load go first?
So the city has transfer stations, they're called. The companies come and dump their rubbish or junk there, and then they have machines that classify it. They take out the metals, take out the woods, and then they crush up all the remaining garbage and put them into really big trucks. Mm-hmm. And then they ship them out to like landfills that are about 2 or 3 hours outside of the city. Because the city's expanding so much where now the old landfills are surrounded by the city, right? So
I see. Okay, neat. Now, how do you decide in the moment what can be donated, what gets recycled, and what actually ends up in the landfill?
Yeah, so it's a mixture of things. Obviously, your own personal interests. Like some of the drivers have different interests. Some like let's say sports cards or antiques, but it also has a mixture of how full our schedule is, mm-hmm. because if we got a full day, we don't got time to sit there and kind of pick and choose what we want. Mm-hmm. And then, sometimes the client requests us to try and donate certain things too.
Okay.
So yeah, it's just a mixture of kind of per job or per day.
Yeah, it all depends on what's in the truck, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And how busy you are, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Because if you got a busy schedule, got lots on the go, you can't necessarily stop at the Goodwill and leave it for donate or whatnot. But you try to.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Now, what are some of the most common items Edmonton homeowners throw out that could have been easily donated or reused?
Oh, yeah, that's an easy one. Furniture is a big one. Couches, chairs, tables, and then obviously clothes. Mm-hmm. Clothes are a big donation item, right? So
yeah, that's too bad that a lot of people don't just either put them out for free, list them on Marketplace, come pick it up, get it out of my house, kind of thing. It's unfortunate, but there's always opportunities, I guess, for you to drop it off at a donation site. Mm-hmm. When the time permits, right?
Yeah, luckily there's lots of those donation boxes around the city. You just kind of got to know where they are, keep an eye out for them, right?
Yeah, nice. That's great. Now, are there items that surprise people? Things they assume are trash that you can actually divert?
Yeah, to be honest, lots of like machines or mechanics that are just have a dead battery, mm-hmm. or one little piece that's broken where it's easy to call the supplier and get a new one. Mm-hmm. We just had a big cleaning machine that someone threw out and it was worth like $3,000 and all it needed was a new battery.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So that was kind of lucky on our end.
Crazy. That's great.
Yeah.
Now, how does the Edmonton or Alberta waste system work for companies like yours? Are there specific facilities that you have to work with locally?
Yeah. So those transfer stations are for commercial use only.
Okay.
So the normal residential client wouldn't be able to drive up there with their pickup truck or trailer.
I see.
And that's where, like, first of all, we try and recycle as much as we can by taking the metals, the batteries, the tires out before we take it to the transfer stations. But then once we do dispose of our garbage there, they go through with their machines before. So it kind of gets like a two-step recycling process, right?
Okay, interesting. Now, what happens to large items like hot tubs or old appliances, deck boards? Does the process look different for those items?
No, it's pretty similar for big, small, large quantity, small quantity. It all gets to the same place, gets separated, gets broken down, and then sent to the landfills. Right. So
Okay. Now, when something does have to go to landfill, what does that process look like? And is it just dumped there, or is there more to it?
to the landfills, I think it just gets dumped there, to be honest, because those sites are very big.
Yeah.
Right. So they have so much garbage. Like you wouldn't believe how much garbage a city this size produces per day, right? Like,
How has the push toward recycling and sustainability changed how you operate over the years?
yeah, that question is a tough one because everybody wants to recycle as much as they can all the time. But the reality is with time, money, the overhead, it does get hard. So I think, before I was in this business, there wasn't too many different categories. But now when we go to the landfills or when people are throwing the garbage out, as commercial companies, we understand the classification of what's usable, what's reusable, what is classified as hazardous or that stuff. So I think the government has done a good job by trying to make those classifications. So it's just up to us to follow them.
Now, what's something the average Edmonton homeowner could do differently before calling you that would help reduce what ends up in the landfill?
Yeah, so I think you touched on that one a little earlier, is trying to sell the items on a marketplace or on a Kijiji, or calling one of the donation companies to, come out and assess it or send them photos. And then obviously I think this is the biggest one, is not leaving the junk or the garbage situation until the last minute. Right. Because when people call us, usually we're the last stop and they want it gone right then and there and as soon as possible. And that doesn't give us enough time to kind of, orchestrate things properly.
Right.
So if homeowners would give us a little more heads up, then that would be better instead of last minute.
Nice. And then things aren't going into the landfill right away.
Yeah.
They're being used by somebody else.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing, is just the timing of pushing it last minute.
Yeah. Great. Last question. If someone is on the fence about hiring a junk removal company versus taking stuff to the dump themselves, what should they know about how responsibly their stuff gets handled?
Yeah, so that's a big one because, like I was explaining earlier, is we already understand the different classifications of what goes where, what's able to get disposed of at the eco stations. And for us, we save a lot of time and effort on the normal person just throwing it in the back of their truck, because they could take a load there and half of it would be accepted and the other half wouldn't.
Right.
Because they don't understand that some of the items should be going to an eco station and not the landfill, and the mattresses only are accepted at this location and vice versa. Right. So, we take that burden off them by our expertise. Right.
That makes a lot of sense. So you actually know where the things should go. And you're saving people time. Like really, it's a time saver.
Huge.
Not everybody wants to, drive around the city all day or go out to Sherwood Park or go to wherever to try and dump off some items. Eco stations, there's only a few in the city. They're not conveniently located typically, and there's lineups and all of that. So you can save them a lot of time and energy. Plus, carrying it out of the house.
Yeah.
Right?
But for someone loading their truck or their trailer, they have to load it once to get it in. And then once they arrive to this transfer station or the eco station, they have to unload it again. And they have to classify it in different zones. And it takes a lot of time. And then waiting to scale in and scale out. Like, it's an all day thing, right?
Yeah, it's a thing. So save some time and also help save the environment and pull some stuff out of that landfill. Call 432-YUCK and Shane will be happy to help you out. Come to your house, assess what you've got, and clean it out. You do not only clean outs like you do for, let's say, hoarder houses, or you do construction cleanup And you also have some smaller roll-off bins for smaller jobs. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so the roll-off bins is perfect for do-it-yourself kind of weekend projects, you know, or like if you have a small renovation, basement, bathroom, you know, or flooring, spring cleanup, backyard cleanup, garage cleanup, basement cleanup. Those smaller bins are perfect because they fit right on your driveway.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're not heavy enough to break it or scratch it. You know, some of those bigger bins, they take up more than the driveway, and there's no room for you to throw it 6 feet over.
Right.
Right. So the smaller bins are pretty good for residential clients.
Nice. And all you got to do is visit the website. What is the website again?
432yuck.com.
432yuck.com. And you can call Shane. He can come out, assess what you've got, give you a price, and get that junk out of your place today. So thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you on the next video.